So the Pixel 4, the biggest features are that Assistant 2.0. They have motion sense, then they have face unlock, and those are the big like features that they're talking about. The motion thing was actually might be handy in some situations, like when you're trying to turn off your like snooze your alarm, you can just swipe your hand over your phone.
That could also be a problem. I could do that in my sleep all morning long.
And they also the specs of it were increased. So there is the OLED display, which is and they have a bit higher resolution, but they also said that it is going to be a 90 hertz display, which if you're a power user, you'll definitely feel the difference between the regular displays, which I believe are at 60 hertz, and the 90 hertz display. It just makes it feel smoother.
Okay.
And they, along with the Assistant 2.0, they announced a new audio recorder that they're going to be coming out with, which I thought was really cool. You have it's an audio recorder, it records your audio, but it also live transcribes it as you're speaking into it. Thus, everything is on a transcript, and so when you want to search for something, you can search for specific words within the audio recording, and it will find them.
And then you can just jump to that spot in the audio recording?
Yeah, it'll highlight where in the audio recording. It'll first show like a list of recordings that have those words or that word that you're looking for, and then
nice.
it'll highlight where in the audio recording it is, and you can jump to it. And just things like that that is able to computerize physical or
it's like a multi-sensory cross.
Yeah, digitizing
search.
all the sensory systems is actually really good. Like if they start they're digitizing visual stuff, they're digitizing audio stuff.
Yeah.
And making it so that you can easily find whatever you need.
Either by picture, by word, or that. No,
Yeah.
that is very nice. That is actually really big and useful, and actually, I feel that you kind of undersold it.
It's like it's cool, but again, it is just the combination of the Assistant 2.0 language diction being put onto the phone.
It's not big and flashy,
Yeah.
but it's gonna be long term, pretty.
Yeah, it is
pretty
a good
impactful
feature.
long term, more than just some run of the mill phone, another old flagship.
Yeah, and like it being or the whole or the whole language library, or the like your language being built on the phone itself instead of needing to be connected to online so that it can recognize you. That is the fundamental part as to why these things are happening.
You know what else will be great? If this newer assistant can help us with so many of those things that I asked Google to do a thing and it says, I'm sorry, I can't help with that.
That I don't know if it'll do.
You don't think it'll do some of those things?
Because that's mostly when it has to connect online, and if it can't do it now when it's connected online, then it won't do that when it's connected online.
But if they would update that even when it is connected, even if it's not part of the 2.0 disconnected version, if they could update the part that when it is connected online and when I say search for this, do it, please. That's what you're there for.
Then they start talking about the cameras, and there are. So they took away the wide angle camera from the front of the phone.
Okay.
And they put two cameras on the back of the phone instead of just the one.
So, sorry. Whew. Okay, so they took away the one on the front.
That's the wide angle.
The wide angle one that lets you take wide angle selfies. Yeah. Okay. And then they added a second one to the back?
They added a second camera to the back, but it is a telephoto.
What does that mean?
Essentially it has it's able to zoom better.
How much?
Well,
really well?
This is let's see if I can pull up an example here.
And is that the primary? Because I don't know why they would get rid of the wide angle.
I don't know why either.
There were definitely some times, like when I was at that bachelorette party recently, and it was like 7 bridesmaids, so we're trying to get like 8 of us in a row in the picture. I was the only one that was able to do that because I had that wide angle selfie camera thing. It's okay if you can't find the specs. That's fine. But I mean, that's cool too. And I mean, ultimately, I guess if it's this or that, I might prefer the telephoto, and some people might, but not everyone.
Here's the thing: like, we have the iPhone that just announced the iPhone 11 Pro just announced 3 cameras on the back and 1 camera on the front. And
you can use them simultaneously.
You can use them simultaneously, but even the camera on the front is also a 12 megapixel camera, along with the 3 in the back. Here, again, the camera on the front is your standard 8 megapixel.
Oh.
And your cameras on their back are a 12 megapixel and a 16 megapixel.
So why did the Google stop caring about having the best camera? I really liked their camera on the 2. Well, I liked it on the 2 and the 3. Honestly, I kind of like the 2 better. The processor on the 3 has been slow, but the wide angle has had its days.
The wide angle I thought was very useful, and we even talked.
Yosemite.
Yeah, we even
got some great pictures.
Talked
there.
about it on the here before, where Google seemed like they looked at data. They noticed that a lot of people didn't use the wide angle on the back, but they used it on the front, and this kind of confirms that. But then they took it away from the front, and it makes no sense to me why they would do that, because it was good. That was a good feature. Like, you're taking away a feature, and it's not in order to do this, because there's been other phones that have done this just as well.
What you're saying is there's still a wide angle, but now
no, there's no wide angle on the Pixel.
Not even on the back at all?
No, it's a telephoto and a regular camera.
Okay.
And they even made a joke about we think you need to wide angle as much as telephoto, and like we already had like wide angle on the front like that, and then B, there's a good chance that your next phone is going to have wide angle, so you're just making fun of yourself in the future trying to make a jab at Apple for having a wide angle lens. You have like
it just makes
giving
no
more
sense,
options
really.
Is always better than giving less options.
Yeah, I really don't understand why they would take it away.
They I think, especially with the camera bump, if you looked at the Pixel 4, it has the same large square that the iPhone 11 Max has.
I don't even care about things like that. I don't care about how it looks. I care about how it works.
It's not that that's how it looks. It's that there is, like, in the same space, iPhone 11 Max was able to get 3 cameras.
Okay, yes, yeah, okay.
So it's not like they're compromising anything here, or there's any need for compromising.
Okay. You're right, this is lackluster, and I don't know exactly how like an 8 megapixel compares to a 12. I've been really happy with my camera on my Pixel 3.
Yeah.
And especially on the 2. But
this is supposed to be
an advancement.
This is supposed to be this is going to be facing up against the iPhone 11 Pro. And it's not coming close to it. Like that, yes, the software is amazing, and the photos that it takes might be better than the iPhone's photos that it takes normally. But iPhones, you have more versatility now, which before, even though like before, the Pixel versatility was very similar to the iPhone versatility. Even with the big thing, what started this, I think the iPhone 2 was the one that everybody was talking about, the self-portraits, and they were blurring the background.
Right.
And that was like a big thing. And then iPhone was like, we could do that, you have 2 cameras with the telephoto, because that's when they first introduced the telephoto. So with the normal lens and telephoto lens, it's able to figure out the background and the foreground. And then Google was like, we could just do that with software, and so we only need 1 camera. And that kind of put Apple in its place. Like, that was a time when just having more cameras wasn't necessarily useful. But since then, people have been taking these cameras, like the wide angles, the telephotos, and the normal camera, like this whole all the camera systems have been doing really creative stuff with it, and you're just limiting their options.
Yeah. No, I think I'm gonna skip the Pixel 4. I mean, honestly, if I were to buy another new phone this next year, which I don't need one, so I probably won't, I would probably get an iPhone, even though I don't actually really like iPhone and I don't have an Apple account or anything even. Yeah. But their phone this next year is better than...
And then it doesn't... there's a few other things that kind of grind my gears. We just saw that Family Guy episode. The battery on the regular Pixel 4 is smaller than the battery on the Pixel 3, the regular Pixel 3.
Why would they do that?
No idea. It's not much. It's like probably not even noticeable. It's 2,800 milliamps versus 2,900 milliamps.
Until you need it, and then you notice it, and you are not happy.
But I just
It
there
makes
is
no
fingerprint sensor anymore.
What?
Not even under the glass, like a lot of phones are starting to do with
so there's no now.
It's only face unlock.
I don't like the face unlock too. As a girl who grew up with my sister, who was able to, like, people would mix us up, and then, like, I had a voice unlock password thing, which was not high tech at all back in the day. The 90s we're talking of. But she was able to unlock my supposedly, like, secure voice lock thing with her voice. Mm-hmm. I imagine twins, this face unlock thing is just trash. Why would you even want it?
The other thing is there's no more pixel buds in the out of the phone, like out of the box. So it gave us USB-C pixel buds for headphones.
Yeah, and now it's not even putting those in the box?
Nope, for the same price.
Okay, I think I've heard enough about the Pixel 4.
One good thing is
okay.
All right, the couple good things though is you do get a faster processor. You get 6 gigabytes of RAM versus 4 gigabytes of RAM.
All right, that's good too.
And the better screen, with the higher refresh rate.
I mean, yeah, those things are nice, but I still don't understand why they're taking away.
Yeah, it seems like they took away features. More here than they're giving. So now you have a Pixel that has less features but is on par with the specs. While last year you had a Pixel that had good features but was not spec on par. Thank you for watching Tech Talks. If you liked the video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.